a bunch of cameras.
Welcome again to another edition of SportsMock Live, the bi-weekly, but only periodically available, total source for fake sports news. I'm your host, Joe Hannum. Let's go to the news. After their amazing turnaround against the Bengals, many Browns fans are asking, what the heck happened against the Steelers? We've gone back and looked at the game tapes and the photos from the Steelers game. We think we've identified the problem. The entire city of Cleveland has tribe playoff fever. The excitement even prompted these fans to polish up their bandwagon from 1948 when the team won its last championship. One of the keys this year for the Indians was dominating division rivals such as Twins ace Johan Santana, whom they beat 5 times. The last time a pitcher was beaten that many times by the same opponent involved Chuck Finley and Tawny Katane. A team no one is excited about is the Florida Marlins. Only 375 people attended this recent Marlins game. Team officials blamed the low attendance on the Fidel Castro bobblehead promotion that was not well received by many Cuban fans. The Indians are still looking for a new name for Jacobs Field for next season and have hired IMG to help them. In addition to being a sports marketing giant, IMG is also the author of the best-selling book, 100,000 plus stadium and baby names. Baltimore Ravens coach Brian Billick complained recently that the Jets were impersonating his quarterback signals, trying to get Raven linemen to false start. Said Billick, "We already have someone impersonating a Ravens quarterback, and that's Kyle Bowler." Detroit Lions quarterback John Kitna suffered a severe concussion in Week 2, but played later in the same game. Kitna called it a miracle and has baffled doctors with no lingering symptoms. An even more baffling miracle, the Lions won their first 2 games. In a truly bizarre case that's been all over the news, O.J. Simpson has been arrested and charged with armed robbery and kidnapping. Simpson, an armed gunman, took back items that he claimed were lost. Unfortunately, he was unable to reclaim any shred of his human dignity. At long last, all the major golf organizations have announced a comprehensive anti-doping policy for 2008. As a result, dopey outfits, dopey comments, and most importantly, dopey golfers will now be banned. The children's TV show Teletubbies is in the news and have announced cast changes. Replacing Dipsy this year will be Red Sox pitcher Daisuke Matsuzaka. Actually, Daisuke was involved in a Red Sox hazing tradition involving all the rookies. Clay Buchholz, for example, was forced to dress as a female pirate. Even more embarrassing, Jacob Ellsbury was forced to dress as a Pittsburgh Pirate. Mets pitcher Pedro Martinez recently celebrated getting his 3,000th strikeout. Unfortunately, Martinez blew out his rotator cuff in this picture and will be unavailable for the playoffs. Lastly, an investigation into Signature Pharmacy has revealed that the company may have been selling athletes veterinary steroids designed for horses. No word on whether any current or past NFL players are under suspicion. We have a very special segment for you now. He's been a trucker, a sports reporter. I think at one time he may have raised ferrets for a living. He's a Browns fan for life. Let's get to know Harley Tucker, rural Browns fan. Here's my interview with Harley from earlier today. Hello folks, I'm down here tailgating with a gentleman who spent quite a lot of time here over the years and is one of the biggest Browns fans anywhere. Let me introduce Harley Tucker. Harley, how are you, my friend? We haven't seen you in 12 years.
Hey, Joe, it's great to be back. In 12 long years, and the charges have been dropped, and I'm good to go now.
That is fantastic. Now, for the benefit of our SportsMock Live viewers, let me introduce you a little bit. You are Harley Tucker, ultra Browns fan. You grew up in Badger Lick, Ohio, is that correct?
That's absolutely correct.
Now, where exactly is Badger Lick?
Well, Badger Lick's right down the road from Septicville, and I tell you, if you take 29 South, you stop at the Mail Pouch Barn, you ask for Joe. If he ain't there, just wait around, because he's the only one who knows how to get there if you ain't familiar with the place.
Right. Now how did Badger Lick get its... You know, never mind. I'm not going to ask that question. Now, you've been a Browns fan all your life. Now, growing up in a small town like Badger Lick, how is it that you became a Browns fan?
Well, Joe, my daddy was a Browns fan. His daddy was a Browns fan. In fact, it goes all the way back to my great-great-granddaddy, Beauregard Tucker, who was the very first tailgater in Cleveland Browns history. He used to take his mule team up here in the 1930s and park right on this here spot. In fact, this parking lot even wasn't here then. That airport may have been, and maybe those hookers over there. But he was the original.
Now I'm confused, Harley. You said your great-great-grandfather came down to this area with his mule team in the 30s. Now, the Browns didn't even exist until 1946.
Well, Joe, that shows you what a visionary the man was. He had the foresight to know the greatness was going to be here. It's a Tucker quality.
Okay, I understand. Now, I understand that you have been driving up from Badger Lick every Sunday since 1979. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct. Me and my cousin Lonnie have been coming up here to the lot since 1979. Lonnie, say, Lonnie! Lonnie! No, we got the camera on, son, and get away from my truck. I just washed it.
Well, that is quite a record of family fan devotion, Harley. Now, what did you and Lonnie do during 96 to 98 when the Browns left for Baltimore?
Well, those were the dark years for sure. It was awfully quiet down here in the lot. Kind of like it is today, you know. But we never missed a Sunday,
wait, you kept coming down for 3 years when there were no games?
That's exactly right. We never missed a Sunday. And I'll be honest with you, my wife Opal's kind of a testy woman, and so we just didn't tell her the Browns moved, and we just kept coming down, get a little time to ourselves, you understand.
Right.
We had a bumper crop, too, of that year, the Budweiser, didn't we, Lonnie?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was a good year.
Well, I can see you're tailgating again today. Now, you're down here a little early. Today's Friday, and the game against the Ravens isn't until Sunday.
Well, we actually been here since the Pittsburgh game. That was another dark day in our history, of course, but I hate those Steeler people. I hate the Steelers. I hate their Super Bowl rings and their terrible towels and that old dishwater they call beer, Iron City. Ugh.
And the fact that they've dominated us since 1999?
Yeah, it's just like my wife Opal, you know, and I tell you what, I can't stand it. They're hillbillies is what they are. You know what they put on their sandwiches, Joe? They put coleslaw and french fries right on the dang sandwich, and any civilized person will know you put a fried egg on the sandwich. They're a bunch of dirt farmers.
I totally agree, Harley.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of food, what are you grilling up here today?
Oh, well, Joe, this is actually, this is Lonnie's socks. He had a little accident last night. He fell in the harbor when he was frog gigging, and they're almost done. Yeah.
Those look great, Harley. Now, you're not actually going to cook food on this grill now, are you?
Of course I am, Joe. It's a Weber. What else you going to cook on? My engine?
Well, what else do you plan on cooking this weekend?
Well, we got some possum over there marinating in the bucket, and I tell you what, for the Ravens game, we got a specialty. We got some pecan-crusted raven fillets. And well, to be honest with you, it's pigeon. You know, it's hard to find raven in these here parts, and the crows are kind of gamey.
I get it. That's very clever. Grilling up the opponent, huh?
Yes, sir. We try, like for the Cardinals and the Seahawks. We use pigeons again and squirrels if they're in season. And the Bengals, well, I don't think I want to talk about that on camera.
No, let's not. Thank you so much, Harley. That's all the time we have for today. Have fun tailgating. Lonnie, thank you as always. Enjoy the game. This has been SportsMock Live with Harley Tucker, our favorite rural Browns fan. Harley Tucker, ladies and gentlemen. If you go down to the Muni lot for Browns games, keep an eye out for Harley. He'll be the guy grilling up socks and possum. That's all the time we have today on SportsMock Live. Be sure to check out our past episodes and other videos at www.youtube.com/SportsMockLive. Now, back to you, and all bets are off.